We never imagined we would be where we are today. We are putting down roots back in my home state of Ohio, and we're running our own Scout dealership and overland shop.
And it took one of the hardest times in our lives to get us here.
Feeling very weak and short of breath. Hoping to get back to more of kind of my normal here soon. Being out here and sitting outside, it's just been so nice.
We've decided to go full-time on the road.
I don't know if it's really hit us that we're selling our house.
It all started back in 2020 when we were living in Denver, Colorado. We were both working from home for Google during the pandemic. Because we were able to work from home, we wanted to upgrade our camping setup so that way we could try traveling around and working remotely in all different parts.
Yeah, and since we already had a truck, Mike started looking into truck campers, and he was the most jazzed about Scout.
I really liked how Scouts looked more modern. They're set up to be off-grid capable, and also I was surprised about how lightweight they were.
Yeah, and we really liked Scout's emphasis on sustainability, and it just didn't take too long for Mike to convince me to buy one.
We were really excited in October of 2020 when we got to pick up our Scout Olympic camper.
We're in our new Scout!
But we had a pretty rough summer leading up to then.
Yeah, I had developed some health issues that weren't going away and turned out to be long COVID. And I was pretty much bedbound and housebound for the first year. So after we got the camper, it was really incredible being able to just drive out to beautiful places and being able to rest in the camper, but still being somewhere pretty. It was a big boost for my mental health.
Yeah, so we were really trying our best to explore as much of Colorado as we could in our Scout Olympic alongside with our dog Granger and cat Walker. We also started a YouTube channel trying to document our travels and what it was like to have a Scout camper, because there really wasn't much content out there at this point. We're currently up in the Twin Lakes area in Colorado.
We thought we'd put this video together of a little tour of our new Scout Olympic. In the first year with the Scout, we really traveled all over the US, but mostly out west. And the first big trip that we took was to Utah, and to this day, it was still one of the most beautiful areas that we've explored.
Yeah, our trips kind of just started getting longer and longer. Before we knew it, we were doing 5 weeks at a time. We'd come back to our home in Denver and kind of ask ourselves, like, why are we paying for this mortgage when we're so comfortable living out of our camper?
It felt inevitable that we would travel full-time at some point. And I felt so much better while we were on the road anyways, mentally, that we just thought, why not?
We decided to sell our house, which was kind of a tough decision.
I know that we're excited to be on the road. It's going to be an interesting journey. We're both kind of used to just closing and opening new chapters in our life, and that's pretty much what we're doing.
We decided to upgrade to the larger Scout Kenai model, as well as get a Bowen Customs camper bed made for our truck. This gave us a lot more storage space for full-time life on the road.
And by February, we had downsized all of our belongings and moved out of our house. At that point, I had already quit my job due to my health issues, and Google was starting to bring people back into the office, so Mike decided to leave his job too. A lot of people thought we were crazy to walk away from that financial security, but I think we just felt confident that when we needed to make money again down the road, that we would be able to.
After we got the Kenai, we made some pretty big upgrades to it to get it ready for full-time life on the road. We installed a bigger battery system using 2 Tesla batteries from a wrecked car. We installed a 12-volt air conditioner, as well as updated all the cabinetry to include drawers.
And Mike's dad helped us out a lot with the woodwork, and then my dad was able to help out with some of the electrical work. And a lot of time and effort went into all of those customizations.
Yeah, but I really appreciated how easy it was to modify and make upgrades to this camper. It's just very simple design. After the camper was ready to go, we decided to head all the way up north to Alaska with the goal of completing the entire PanAmerican Highway from Prudhoe Bay, Alaska down to Ushuaia, Argentina.
And by December 2022, we crossed into Mexico and spent 6 whole months in Mexico, which were amazing, even though I was struggling pretty hard with my health by then. Having a rough day, feeling very weak, and short of breath. It's hard to know in the moment if I'm doing too much or not.
While we were in Guatemala studying Spanish in Antigua, we learned about a clinical trial for stem cell therapy for long COVID based out of Houston, Texas.
It seemed like a pretty promising treatment option, and since I was struggling so bad and missing out on so much, we decided to give it a shot.
So it took us 6 whole months to get all the way through Mexico heading south, but when we turned around, it only took us 6 days to get back north.
The trial was over the course of several months, and during that time we started to realize that I actually did need more stability and a break from traveling.
So we ended up buying a little bit of land just outside of Yellow Springs, Ohio, which is a pretty cool, unique little town.
Yeah, I visited Yellow Springs a lot as a kid and just loved it. It's very outdoorsy. There's a state park and lots of like artisan shops and stuff like that.
Ever since we'd gotten our first Scout, I kind of had it in the back of my mind that it'd be a lot of fun to open up a Scout dealer and overland shop. There aren't any dealers in the Midwest, and Yellow Springs just kind of felt like a perfect fit for this type of business.
Yeah, so Mike talked to David, the CEO of Scout, and just to kind of float the idea past him. And we thought maybe it was like a 50-50 chance that they would be interested, but David was really excited about the idea, and that kind of pushed us from thinking about opening the shop to actually doing it.
So we started working on our business in December of 2023. The building we decided to rent for a dealership required quite a bit of work to get it up and running. We also had to learn how to run a business, but officially in July of 2024, we opened up Nook Overland.
The people in Yellow Springs have really embraced our business, and we've also had visitors from all over the eastern part of the US coming to check out the campers and see the shop. We're just getting started, but we do feel like we might be able to bring together the Scout and Overland community in the Midwest and maybe even the Southeast. It's like ever since Guatemala, life has been pulling us in this other direction, and it's starting to feel like we're right where we're supposed to be. We can't wait to get back to traveling full-time, but for now, we're excited to share our experience with others and to introduce them to the wonders of overland travel.
Particularly in a Scout camper.